All right, so what we are going to do today, so basically we are going to insert the details that we are getting from the APIs into a database, right, in the Postgres database. So here, it's how it's going to be. We will be inserting the photo details, right, the link, not the image itself, but the link and the caption into the database, and the same for the message that we are sending to Telegram. We'll be also inserting in a database, right? So after that, let's see how we can do that. First, let's see the dog of the day. This is beautiful dog here. All right, and then we have some news, the today's news, along with the today's fact as well, right? Interesting. All right, so first, I already have a Postgres server running, and I needed to create the table, the database, and the table. And how we can do that? We can use n8n to that end. We can use n8n to control our database evolution, right? So let's create a workflow for that end. So we create a workflow um, to control our database evolution. I will call that database evolution, and we'll be running that manually for our case here. We don't need to do anything much complex. So this is a manual trigger. And then let's create the database first. So let's give a database a name. I will use this set node to set some parameters to our database node, right? So here is going to be set the database name. The database name, let's see, database. The database name is going to be n8n API data, right? This is going to be the database name. Right, if you execute that, we have the database name. And now let's use the Postgres node to create that. So for the Postgres, we have some options here, right? We have delete, execute, a lot of things. But what we want to do, we want to do a more flexible way, which is going to be execute a query. So as I said, I already have the account here, and we have the database name here on the left side. Let's just put the query to create database with JSON with this database name, right? So if I run on, it will work, probably. I hope so. Yeah, success. If I run again, it will fail because I already have that database. But as we want to have this workflow as our database evolution, I don't want it to fail. So I will change how we handle errors here to continue, just continue, and that is fine. All right, so you just continue. I can run this as many times as I want. That we do not affect our database, right? After that, we already have our database. Let's create our table. Let's give our table name using the edit field set node, right? So set the table name, and the table name is going to be let's put here first the variable name. Table name is going to be basically daily message. All right, that's going to be our daily message. If I run that, it will execute here. Let's just copy this Postgres node here, connect. And let's change that execute a query is not going to be create a database anymore. It's going to be create a table, right? So let me just paste the query here. So basically we are creating the table with the table name that we got from our previous node. It's going to have just ID, a timestamp here when we create that, and the message, which is going to be a text column. And I am also create an index just to show you that we can run more than one query in this case here, right? And here we have this ability to use this expression here if not exist. So let's see. Okay, it ran with success. We can run the same way as many times as we want. That would not affect our database. So let's put here create table and index. Our previous node is set table name. And here is going to be create a database, create the database, right? And if I return here and run, it will run, right? And that's fine. Another thing that I can do is select the data. So let's put another Postgres data here. We can like select, we can use some predefined functions here. Let's use that select the rows from the table, and the table name is this one, right? Daily message. Let's just put it here. Can we do that? Yes, looks like we can. If we run that, okay, we don't have data, right? We just created that, it's fine. So in this way, we can use n8n to control our database evolution, right? So if I want to edit that table in the future, add another column or add more tables here, I can just keep improving this workflow here and have a track or a history, what I have changed in my database. You can go to our executions as well and see what you have done since, the beginning. And yeah, that's it. Let's go back to our workflow. Now we have the table and we have the database. We are going to use this guy here, right? And we will add the Postgres, execute a query or let's use the insert rows in a table. So instead of insert rows, it's gonna be insert the doggy, photo, details in a table. And the table, it's gonna be the daily message, right? So let's go here, daily message. We can match it manually, okay. What else we have? Automatically, yeah, just manually, right? We don't need the ID. The ID is auto-incremented. We don't need the created at. We will use a default value. We just need the message. And the message here, it's gonna be what we have in the okay, let's execute this guy here so we can have some data, right? So let's execute everyone. Let's see. Okay, no problem, that's fine. I just want to get the information that we send to Telegram, which is the caption. So let's save the caption and save the photo link. We don't have the photo link here. We have the file ID, which is saved in the Telegram servers, but I want here this message, which is gonna be the photo, right? Let's give here a space or maybe a new line, right? And if you run that, it will insert and also return the ID. If we go back to our workflow and run our database evolution again, so now we should have some data here, and we have, right? Let's change to table, and here we have the data, the dog, and the image. Let's do the same for the daily message. So let's just copy this guy, plug it here, and change its name, insert the dog, insert the message, right? And this is gonna be let's execute everything again. I just want to see what's gonna be the message. Here is gonna be the text, right? This text that we want to insert in our database, right? So here's everything. If I run that, okay, it was inserted. If we go back to our database evolution workflow and execute the select, now we probably have 3 or 4 things here, right? We have one with just this new line here, and it was executed. I think it was because of the error that we had before, so let's just ignore this guy. All right, so here is how we can insert data into a database. In this case, we are using Postgres for that. But now, every day, whenever this guy here runs, it will insert the data into the database, right? So that it's, and then in the future, we can somehow use that data from other stuff. So this is very interesting. and you can use in your applications as well. And yeah, and that's it for today. See you next time.